Who's a fat boy?
Podcast Fat Boy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 24 of Podcast Fat Boy. Here we are. We finally got a few days in a row of sun and no rain. How have you been enjoying that? We've had just a dumping of rain coming up, in southern Ontario. Maybe all of Canada. I don't know. I just know all the places that I go to, I am affected by the rain. The water is much higher. The island is flooded still, I think. People are living underwater like frogs and fish. It's the way we're going to have to live now. Water world. Kevin Costner, baby. That's where we're going. I didn't think that we really had any issues of flooding where we were. I thought we were sitting pretty in Ontario, in Toronto, because we're nowhere near the oceans. We just have the Great Lakes, but they're not going to flood. It's the oceans that are rising, right? But then you forget about the rain. If we just keep getting tons of rain, where's it going to go? They have to keep opening. They have to keep opening dams and stuff, right, to funnel it to the other lakes. But when you do that, you flood places, especially people who live in floodplains. So it is a bit of a mess, as I've noticed that we can't put in our docks, okay, at the cottage. That's trouble. We want to be able to put the docks in. It's July. It's almost mid-July. This is like the latest we've ever done it. The plight of the cottage owner. That's a huge problem, isn't it? Us complaining about whether we can put in docks. Pathetic, I know. People have got real problems, like their house is underwater. I'm complaining about how far out I can walk on the water. Well, my beard is back, Jack. I enjoyed my little 2-week vacation from Facial Mitt. And, I'm back in full swing. So it pretty much takes me about a month to grow a solid beard, which I'm proud of. Let the producers of Vikings know that I'm ready to go within a month's notice if I'm clean shaven. Okay, Vikings. Okay, Donald Logue. I don't know if you're still on that show. Donald Logue. Do you guys know who Donald Logue is? He's going through some shit right now. His 16-year-old daughter is missing in New York, and it's like, cannot find her. Really strange. And he's like pleading for people to find her or let her go, or like, oh my God, what's going on? Crazy to think, and he's using the powers of Twitter to get the message out there. So, if you know where Jade Logue is, send him a tweet, man, or, because that's a tough thing. I'm sure. I've never lost a kid or anything like that. I have lost a dog once, and I'm sure that's very much the same. Okay? It was a very stressful 20 minutes of my life. And, that kind of worry sits up underneath your belly. I'm sure it's, obviously different. Obviously. I'm not going to compare Jade to a dog. But I don't know why I got onto Jade Logue, but well, here we are. Anyways, tweet at them if you find her. Have you been bored? I've been bored lately. And you'd think like, well, if you're so bored, just keep working out or going to the gym or doing all that shit. I think the biggest problem is I get an idea in my head and I'm like, I'm going to stick to this. And my big idea was like, I'm not going to eat junk food anymore. My chips are going to be raw vegetables and a bit of hummus. So I did that for about 2 days. And after chomping on cauliflower and broccoli raw, it just couldn't taste good. I thought I was going to love it. Maybe I need to get like a ranch dip, like a low-fat ranch. Because like you get pretty sick of it, you know. It's not really fun. I understand why people cook vegetables. You know, spice them up, put them in the oven, saute them with some onions and shit. Totally makes sense. I don't know how people are raw vegans or raw vegans? Yeah, raw vegans. Whoa. Just eating raw all the time, nothing cooked. Bill Maher, is that how you say his name? Apparently he's a raw vegan. That's why he's always a bit crusty, I guess. Couldn't imagine being a raw vegan. I could probably do vegan. I mean, you know, you heard the last episode. I'd probably be going to Doomies, eating garbage as much as I could, expensive vegan garbage. But it can be pleasurable. It can definitely be pleasurable. But raw vegan, that's a commitment, folks. That is a commitment. So I've been bored. When I'm bored, I like to buy stuff. Guys, I bought a low-free keyboard. Now, you're probably wondering what that is. You probably saw it as an ad on your Facebook. It is a wireless keyboard, and it connects Bluetooth to your iPhone or your Android or your computer, of course. And it's in the style of a typewriter. So it's a clackety-clack motherfucker. And the keys are obviously they're close together and weird, like a typewriter. So it's very hard to get used to. But I do like the sound of it. You know, it's kind of how people like to buy bubble wrap and burst the bubbles kind of thing. It's kind of got that feel for me, that stress reliever. So I bought a low-free keyboard from a Kickstarter campaign, and I was sure that at one point I wasn't going to get it. Because, you know, with Kickstarters, you just never know. I still have a gift waiting for me from about 2 years ago, but then the company folded, so it's never coming. It's never coming. And it was like one of those plug outlets that you plug into the wall, and it just like you can easily put your iPhone and stuff charging on it. That was the company. I can't remember what it was called. It was a gift for me 2 Christmases ago. Never came. Got the message saying that they're out of business. So they definitely won't be shipping any of their last prototypes. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm on my 3rd coffee of the day. That's not good. Got to stop drinking so much coffee. Who am I, Paul Martin? That's all I remember about Prime Minister Paul Martin. Was that his name? Christ, I can't even remember that far back. It was like 7 years ago. He used to drink 16 cups of coffee a day. That's insane. You need that much coffee? What the hell's wrong with you? Jesus. Like, you gotta find other ways to perk up, man. Just start drinking hot water and lemon or something. Gives you more energy. You need 1, maybe 2 cups a day, and you're good. I couldn't drink it all through the day. I mean, I am on my 3rd cup, which is it's a rare day. It's Thursday, guys. It's garbage day. I'm a little excited. We've got like full recycling bins out there, and I just cannot wait to put them to the curb. I cannot wait to empty it. It's like, it feels like, I'm in charge of the garbages where I live. And every time I put garbages to the curb, whether it be recycling or green bin or what, it's like a different part of my bowels that is being emptied. So I'm really happy about that. And we finally, I don't know where you live, but if you live in the city of Toronto, we have new green bins that are raccoon proof. We just got them a few weeks ago. Very excited about it because we have a huge problem where we live with raccoons, and now I have to arrange the garbage bins in a weird way so that they can't open those because they're going to be starving, folks. They can't get into the green bins. That's some solid food for them. So they're going back to the garbages and creating a mess because, people in my building don't like to compost. It's an unfortunate thing. I don't understand what the big deal is. It's just some of their garbage. There's beautiful bins you can get that have charcoal filters so it doesn't smell in your kitchen. I don't know. I don't like people put them in their freezer. A lot of people do that. They keep it cold, and I mean, for one, I don't have the room in the freezer for that, and there's something that just having compost in the freezer really grosses me out. There's something that makes me fucking sick, so I'll never do that. So we got a nice green bin with a charcoal filter. You can get it at leevalley.com. Real good. But so you put your compost in the garbage, the raccoons are gonna smell, man. They won't want to get in there. Like I can't, I fantasize sometimes about like using a tranquilizer dart and not killing them, but rounding them up and taking them to a coon colony somewhere, on the Toronto Island or some island. I'd find an island that no one's, and just populate it with raccoons. And that'd be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? Speaking of bored, I'm thinking about buying a video game. What do you guys think of that? Okay, like I don't usually play those video games, but I'm thinking about buying one of those like shooter ones, just to walk through a different world, take a vacation in a way, while holding a gun. Now, one thing that I have gotten into, as far as I said, when I like to buy stuff when I'm bored, but I've been buying a lot of discs for disc golf. And you're probably wondering, what are you talking about? And I'm like, people say frolf. Now, I think it's frowned upon in the disc golf community to say frolf, because technically you're not throwing frisbees, okay? They're golf discs. They are very different to throw. And you know what? It's a great way to get exercise, because guess what? It's just like golf. So you're walking like a nice course, and you're also like having to hike up hills and shit to get to other holes. And you got to wear hiking shoes. I recommend wearing hiking shoes for this. And the other plus about it is that it is free. These courses are free. There's like a bunch in the city or just out of the city. There's tons across Canada. You can just show up and play because they're in like public parks, I guess. That must be why. I mean, there's got to be a couple courses where you do have to play, because you can YouTube tournaments and shit. And, like I was just watching one the other day, and I'm like, I'm not ready to take it seriously yet, but there are people that take this shit seriously and have sponsors, and it's televised in some way. And like, people show up and watch them play and walk with them to the next hole, like in golf. It's exactly the same fucking thing. Definitely I can imagine nowhere near the same money as, PGA golf, but I'm sure they make a good, 15 grand a game or something. Maybe 20, the pros. I don't know. But it's fun. It is a lot of fun. It's not as easy as you'd think. It's pretty difficult. It's kind of like throwing a discus if you're in the Olympics. If you're an Olympic listener, you got to, have a whole, it's a big wind up and follow through, and very different. But I recommend it if you want to, just get some casual exercise in the city. Pick up a new sport. You got to buy the discs though, and then you're ready to go. You're gonna lose some though, so be okay with that. So that's one way I'm finding a new way to exercise. I'm trying to get back into kayaking. I do keep it at my cottage, so that limits me to being kayaking very much. And I had a real fun time. I went out once and I tried to like wiggle my way off the property into the water, because I'm like, water's so high. I'm just gonna go right in. Toot sweet. And sure enough, I went into the water and tipped right over and got completely drenched. And the thing was full of water. And here's the thing about those recreational kayaks. I don't have one of those little cuties where you can do all those barrel rolls and go down White Rapids and shit. I have the rec one. You get a Canadian Tire that's a little bit bigger. You can put a cover on it, but I mean, it's pretty useless. It's just to keep you a little bit dry if you're getting splashed. Stupid. It's impossible to put on too. And, they fill up with water. You're in real trouble. So it is, you do not want to do that. because it's really hard to get the water out when you're in the water. Anyways, I did that for a bit, so, that felt good. And then, I'm just like trying to make the little changes. I'm limiting my fast food. Haven't been having a ton of that. I have a couple of slip-ups where, you're driving or something, coming back late from somewhere, and you're like, oh, just get a what? Get a fucking Big Mac. No pop. Okay, that's where I'm like, aha! That's the bad part. Not drinking pop. So I limit that. But I think I've only had it once in like the last 3 weeks. Maybe in the last month, I've only had like, a bad burger kind of shit. That's okay, man. Moderation. We're trying to just, eradicate as best we can. And what else have I done? I got some new protein powder, and I got Vega Protein. I don't know if you guys know what Vega Protein is, but it's essentially very healthy protein powder. It's made, you're going to get your greens from it. The first time I bought it, it was like a vanilla kind of flavor, and I did not like it because it just tasted like cake batter. And that's not really something you want to drink after you work out. But I got a new, like a chocolate flavor, and it's a lot better. And so the key thing, too, is there's no sugar in it, which is important because if you're going to mix it with almond milk or whatever, there's going to be some sugar in that. Or, it's good to stay away from sugar when you're trying to cut your body and lose weight, So I try not to have too much sugar, but I do get a hankering for it because, I don't put it in my coffee or anything. And sometimes I need a little sugar jolt at some point of the day, especially if I'm not eating enough fruit, getting the natural sugars. And so I've started that. And it's like, I kind of get in this mode, though, with exercises. Like, I really want to go out and ride my bike or go to the gym or something. And then it's like, but I also could just stay here sitting in my bed for the next 6 hours, staring out the window, like that brings me a lot of pleasure. And I don't think I give myself enough credit for that kind of pleasure that it brings me. So here I am. You're damn right I'm in the fucking Charlie Bucket studio right now. Like, where else am I going to record this thing? Come on. Charlie Bucket, baby. Wish I could get an update on Charlie Bucket's life right now. If I could, go to some fake world, some fictional world. See how Charbuck is doing at the Willy Wonka factory. I think he fucked that up for sure. Kid's an idiot. They couldn't even do percentages. Couldn't even figure that shit out in class. They had to, grade 6, eat all those candy bars. That shit's bankrupt for sure. But so when I went in the water with my kayak, I was wearing my Fitbit. Guys, do you guys have a Fitbit? I mean, I got like an old one now. I've got just the Charge HR, not the Charge 2. That's like the new Charge. I have the old Charge that they don't sell anymore. And they have, every single Fitbit has a different power cord. Just like someone's job is just to make fun, different cords that are not adaptable. And, if you lose one, you're in trouble. So I thought I lost one, ended up buying 2 more. So now I have 3 because I found it. Isn't that interesting? Anyways, it's not waterproof. It's water resistant, but I went right into the drink with it, and it seemed to be okay. But I've been doing a little research on Fitbit, and like they are really starting to struggle. They're not the top fitness tracker anymore. And the problem is that they are competing with the Apple Watch and Android Wear, and they are far behind. They're apparently coming out with their own smartwatch that is supposed to compete with the Apple Watch and the other stuff, but it's like by the time it comes out, it's going to be competing with Apple Watch 2, and Apple Watch 3 will just come out right away. So there's going to be new stuff that it's like, well, why would I get that? So you best be sure that Fitbit smartwatch better be waterproof. It better be GPS integrated inside, so you don't have to like fucking pair with your phone all the time. That's one of the biggest annoyances of all this shit. Is like, Christ, you gotta carry a fucking huge... it's like carrying a huge computer around with you to use it. Like, come on. What age are we living in? The age of electric? They knew what they were singing about. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. Fitbit might go under or something if they're betting the house on this new smartwatch, and I don't know how great it's gonna be. They better have a real cool campaign with a fun celebrity, looking to promote it. Maybe Tony Little, who's a fitness tycoon from the 80s and 90s. Just get them all in there. Get fucking Tybo, Tony Little, fucking Suzanne Summers, them all like fighting with those Fitbits. That's the commercial I'm envisioning. If you want me to shoot it, I will. You know how to contact me. podcastfatboy@gmail.com. Other thing that keeps me from working out too, guys, is how hot it gets outside. There's a point in the summer where it's like, I don't want to ride my bike anymore because it's so awful outside. It gets smoggy. You really feel the car exhaust as you're riding by more. So I want to stay inside and just like huff air conditioning out of a bong. So apparently, though, what people are doing now is called heat acclimation. And what they're doing is, this sounds insane, but they're trying to, they're trying to acclimate to the heat. So after they work out, they have a bath at 104 degrees Celsius for like a half hour. And they do that like 5 days a week or something like that. And that just sounds insane, because after you work out and you're sweaty, it's like the last thing you want to do is get into a fucking hot bath. But it's helping them, I guess, acclimate to the heat when they're working out. So they're sweating more. And, your heart doesn't have to work as hard to push out all the sweat. And, that means, it's going to be a real boom for the antiperspirant business, which I don't wear antiperspirants. I barely wear deodorant. And no, I don't smell. I don't smell at all. I've always been afraid of antiperspirants because they use aluminum chloride. And essentially what it does is creates like a gel plug on your sweat glands under your armpit, which just seems really fucked up. It seems like that's not good for you. And yeah, there's all kinds of health effects. Did you guys ever use the Right Guard antiperspirant? And it was like gel. I remember getting that in a stocking one year, and then I just remember it like gooing out through the little holes, and immediately my pits started to burn. And that is the last time I used that shit. Now I just use organic fucking whatever shit that is deodorant. That's it, That's my cologne now. That's my cologne, folks. If I'm smelling nice, that's just my deode, okay? So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do... I don't think heat acclimation is going to be for me. I don't know if it's for you, but if you want to do it, you should look into it. There are some articles about it. You can, essentially prepare yourself for the extreme heat outside. But really, you just, want to watch the weather and take it easy, folks. So here we are. We're in the middle of July. And, I'm looking out the window. And I'm thinking, I should get out there. I should do something. Maybe I'll go for a bike ride. I'm going to drink a bunch of water and see if I can get out there today, because it is Thursday. And the weekend is upon us, folks. And it's good to go in pumped, right? You want to go into the weekend pumped, baby. So I'm going to do that. And what else is new? Just chilling out here in the city. Guys, if you want to listen to a basketball podcast, please go to dunkspodcast.com and listen to the Confederacy of Dunks with Freddie Rivas and Kevin Dowse. And we've got a great free agency special right now that you can listen to with all the signings and whatnot and all your Toronto Raptor coverage. So I thought I'd just plug that in there too before I end this show. And yeah, I will see you guys. I'm hoping for next week. I really, for a while I was doing the every week, and here I am. I think it's just because I haven't seen any real changes to come back to you guys with. It's just more of the same shit. But again, like with all the shit that's going on in the world, you just gotta check in. You just, You don't know when they're going to pull the pin on the nuclear war over there in fucking Korea. Like shit's getting a little hot over there. So, this is going to be the one podcast that survives, and we gotta beef up the content a little bit for people when they're living in bunkers and shit. And this is the only thing that's available on the iTunes store. Okay, because no, I don't have enough ratings to show how many 5 stars I have. I just can't. Across any podcast get enough ratings. Well, that's just the way it is, folks. Because I'm a bit of a ghost in this world, I guess. But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being a ghost. Rent's free and shit. So I will see you back. This is episode 24. I'll see you back in episode 25. Hopefully I'll be like 200 pounds lighter. I'll just be like a paperclip or something. No, but maybe, I didn't give you really an update on the weight, but, it's not much has changed. Not much has changed. I got a haircut, though, so that's like 3 pounds off, okay? Because I had huge dreadlocks, and, I finally cut them off. Everybody knows that. Okay, guys? So have a good week. Drink lots of water if you're going out there, okay? See ya.